Tonight, President Biden announcing a sweeping new executive action, preventing the deportation of an estimated 500,000 migrants who are married to U.S. citizens.
These couples have been raising families, sending their kids to church and school, paying taxes.
The new move applies to migrants who cross the border illegally and have been here for at least 10 years. They'll now get a path to citizenship. Previously, migrants who cross the border illegally would have to leave the country to apply for citizenship through marriage, and some were denied re-entry, a risk Javier Quiroz Castro wasn't willing to take.
I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a home. This is not something that I want to roll the dice at all whatsoever with.
Quiroz Castro is a nurse in Houston, where he lives with his high school sweetheart, Haley, their 5-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son. The White House says he'll likely benefit from the president's move.
What do you and your wife tell your children about your immigration status and your journey?
My daughter doesn't fully understand. She has no idea what's at stake. I guess the stress, the uncertainty.
There have been a record nearly 10 million illegal border crossings since President Biden took office. Former President Trump calling today's move an unconstitutional mass amnesty that will encourage more people to come here illegally.
Our country is under invasion. We should not be talking amnesty. We should be talking about stopping the invasion instead.
And it follows the president's executive action tightening asylum restrictions. Since then, the number of illegal border crossings has dropped from 4,000 a day to just over 2,100 a day, according to DHS officials. Though smugglers are boasting nothing at the border has changed. This smuggler advertising on WhatsApp his menu of available routes for migrants to cross illegally into the U.S.
The White House says the new protections will start by the end of the summer, but the new policy may face legal challenges. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.